Self-awareness is supposed to be the answer. Know your wounds, know your patterns, know exactly who you want to become, and the results should follow. Except for one minor inconvenient truth that nobody is talking about. The most self-aware women are the ones who stay stuck the longest, and it's not because there's a discipline issue or there's some sort of malfunction in their manifestation rituals. It's a very specific neurological pattern called the awareness action gap. In the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna break down exactly what is happening in your brain when you are describing your highest self in extreme detail, but for some reason you still can't be her. She seems so far away. And then I'll share the one shift that actually closes the gap once and for all. If you're new around here, hello, I am Vikita, and on my channel, I try to help you get everything you want the easier and softer way. If you've done all the doing and you're ready for things to just start working out in your life, stick around and hit subscribe. And if you want a little midweek pop in from me, I do have a weekly newsletter that I've started. It's called The Life Edit. I pop into your inbox every single Wednesday and it's free as a bird. So if you want to check that out, the link is down below. Now let's get into the good stuff. So the awareness action gap that I just talked about was coined by psychologist Daniel Goleman, and the idea is quite simple. He said that self-awareness is a trap. Basically, you have been told that knowing your patterns, understanding why you are the way you are, knowing your wounds, and knowing actually why you're stuck should be the things that move you out of it, except that it's not. Knowing why you do something doesn't actually reach the part of you that's actually doing it. Awareness lives in the head, okay, right here. But you can't simply just think your way out of who you've decided you are. So throughout your entire life, you have gone through experiences that have made you believe this is who I am, this is what I'm capable of, and this is what I am able to have in this life. Those things all get stored in this vessel right here in this body. So you can't think your way out of those things. You can absolutely know why you are the way you are, all of your patterns, and understand all of the things that have led you to be this person, but you simply cannot think your way into being a new person. And this is the thing that nobody tells you, and it took me a very long time to realize this myself. Self-awareness is not the bridge to becoming who you want to be and living your dream life and getting everything you want. In fact, it's actually the comfort zone that you have been in the entire time. So self-awareness is this very funny and fickle thing where it makes you feel like you're doing all of this work because you have read the books, you're listening to the podcast, you journal every day, you do all of these things that are supposed to get you to where you want to be. And in your mind, it's safer to just continue doing those things without actually moving into the version that you want to be of yourself. It feels very comforting to know all of your issues, but not yet get into the real life where you actually have to apply everything. And this is the gap that I stayed in for years. Whether it was unconscious or conscious, I was stuck in this comfort zone gap of self-awareness. Okay, I do something that sounds a little unhinged, but it actually has completely transformed the way that I relate to my higher self. So everyone always says, visualize your higher self and really get into the feeling and vividly see her. What would she be doing, wearing, looking like, right? And you sit there and you try to conjure up an image of her in your head, but yet she still feels like lifetimes away. I decided to stop trying to imagine what she would look like and instead just make an actual photo reference of her and what I would want her to look like and imagine her to look like a real photo that I pull up every day before I go into my visualization practice so that it's sort of cemented in my mind. Okay, I do something that sounds a little unhinged, but it actually has completely transformed the way that I relate to my higher self. Let me explain. So everyone always says, visualize your higher self and really get into the feeling and vividly see her. What would she be doing, wearing, looking like, right? And you sit there and you try to conjure up an image of her in your head, but yet she still feels like lifetimes away. I decided to stop trying to imagine what she would look like and instead just make an actual photo reference of her and what I would want her to look like and imagine her to look like a real photo that I pull up every day before I go into my visualization practice so that it's sort of cemented in my mind. I use FaceApp for this. I've been using them for years and I've been doing this little unhinged hack for years. Trust me, it works. So basically, we'll go through it together right now, how you can do it for yourself. I don't want to change the way I look with FaceApp. I want to just elevate. So first I'm going to go to the impressions tab. I always start here, and a keynote, I only go to level 1 or 2. We're elevating. We're not changing the way that we look. So I will usually go to cute because it just sort of gives a nice glow that's super natural. I'm gonna do filter strength number 2. Then we're gonna head over to hairstyles. Now, in this photo, like my hair looks full and thick, but I know that it is not in fact full and thick. So I want to just like when I'm looking at this picture, know that I'm channeling that thickness. You can play around with the hairstyles and make your higher self exaggerated. Like if you have been thinking about getting bangs, maybe your higher self, you envision her having bangs, try it out on FaceApp first to see how you would look with it. I, for one, would not get bangs based on how I'm looking in this photo of me right now. I don't think bangs are for me, but I just think it's cool to see such a drastic change, especially when you are channeling your higher self. And lastly, I'm just gonna go and apply the filter fresh. You can see that I've really not changed anything about the photo except for just elevating it. This is the photo I will look at every single time I go to visualize my 2.0 version of my dream life. Seeing this version of me, I can sort of project what I want to be, like who my higher self is, what she does, how she thinks, and then live from this version of me. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will answer them. But if you want to make your own version of your higher self, which I highly recommend you do, then definitely check out the link below. Grab FaceApp. I recommend the pro version and specifically the annual subscription. You will use it way more than you think. Play with all the tools like I did and you will create your elevated version. Check out the link in my description box for a 7-day free trial of the pro version, or you can scan the QR code right here on the screen to make things easy for yourself. And thank you FaceApp for sponsoring this video. Now back to the rest of it. There are 2 specific mechanisms that happen when you get trapped in this awareness action gap. The first mechanism is mental stimulation. So let me actually explain what is happening in your brain when you go to visualize your higher self. So picture your morning routine, right? You go into wherever you visualize, you really immerse yourself in this imagination of what she's wearing, how she does her hair, how she speaks, all of those things, really getting vivid about your highest self. You're releasing a small amount of dopamine. So your brain is now chemically getting all horned up, let's say. That's Vikita's version. Neuroscientists actually call it something a little bit more scientific, which is just mental stimulation. Now, here's where I always say the brain is a little bit dumb. The brain doesn't actually know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. So when you are vividly imagining your highest self and everything you want, your dream life, your brain is getting very turned on. It's getting very excited, and it's actually rewarding you for that imagination. Now, that might sound like a good thing. It might sound like, well, that's what we're supposed to do, right? It's true, but when you don't have the other part of it, which we'll get into in a second, you just continue to get the reward of imagination without the actual being part. Your brain is getting a hit of dopamine, your nervous system is getting a hit of dopamine. So in your mind, in your body, it feels very productive to do this every single morning. But what's actually happening underneath all of that is your brain is rewarding you for the imagining part, but not actually the becoming part, not actually the being who you want to be part. There is a huge disconnect. So every time you spend like an hour in the morning or in the evening, whenever you do it, visualizing and journaling and scripting, all of these beautiful woo-woo practices that I personally all practice, you actually keep getting trained to just imagine because you're getting rewarded for it. So the deeper and the more consistent it is, the more your brain is like, yes, we do this every morning, we're getting our reward, and you as a conscious human are not realizing what's happening on a subconscious level. You are just now in this loop of I visualize, I meditate, I get rewarded for it, it feels really good, but then you go about the rest of your day without the being part. Now, the second mechanism is where it gets a little bit funkier, okay? And it's crazy when you really hear what I'm gonna say. You are doing the morning meditation, the visualizations, the journaling, the scripting as your current self. All of those things are being built with and by your current identity. So none of those things are actually being done by a new version of you. They are just essentially being stacked on top of this version of you and the old versions of you. So that is why we can look at someone who is doing all the right things, like the habits, the routines, the practices, all of it, and it doesn't stick. It works for 2 or 3 weeks, and then it all of a sudden is back to square one, and you keep feeling like you're on a hamster wheel. You're doing everything right, but nothing is working and sticking. Because the woman you're actually doing it out of is from an old energy. It's from a completely dead identity that you don't want anymore, but you haven't yet brought in the new one, right? You have the self-awareness of who you want to be. You're not actually being her yet. So all the new habits and routines that your higher self would do are essentially just coming from an old version of you. There's no alignment. So the snapback of going from new habits, routines to old Vikita, let's just use me as an example, going back to old Vikita, it completely snaps back into place, because the foundation underneath all of those habits, I always like to think of it as a cake. The cake, the actual foundation of the cake, is your identity. The icing, the toppings, and the cute stuff on top are the habits, the routines, and the practices. If the foundation, aka the cake, is not laid, it's not sturdy or stable, the icing and the little things on top make no difference. It does not matter. Your identity has to move first, and the other cute stuff like the habits and routines come after, because now they are being done from a new identity. Therefore, they start to stick. And the funniest part of this all is that the more self-aware you become, the more difficult it gets to move into a new identity, and I'm gonna explain why. Every single time you go through this loop where you picture her, you get the dopamine hit, you then build a habit, you then notice that it's not sticking, so then you go back to picturing her again. You're going through that cycle over and over again. You're actually building stronger and deeper neural pathways and neural connections that are reinforcing that loop. So the wanting of the dream life, the wanting change and being a new person gets stronger and stronger, while the actual being or becoming part gets weaker and starts to slowly dissipate and fade into the background, because this connection is getting strengthened by that continuous loop. And this is why we have to always be aware of what is happening, because the healing loop is real. I was in it. So the obvious question becomes, we know what not to do. What do we start doing? Firstly, you just have to make an identity decision first. That is where everything starts. The root of reality starts in your identity and who you are being. You simply make a decision of, this is who I'm going to be now, starting from this point forward. Number 2 is applying my method, which is simply called Coherence. It is just the act of mental, emotional, and energetic alignment. So first is mental. What is this? These are your beliefs. These are your thought patterns. These are your self-talk, so your self-concept, how you view yourself in relation to yourself, to the world, in relation to what you want. Number 2 is your emotional state, which is just your nervous system, and these are all the feelings of actually being her, what it feels like to be who you want to be and have everything you want. Number 3 is your energetic state. So this is your embodied frequency, and that's just a fancy way of saying who you walk around as throughout your day, what you let into your life, what you don't let into your life, how you respond. And when all 3 line up and match your highest self, she will just randomly appear like, whoa, she's right there. All of a sudden, she's just right by my shoulder. That is not a coincidence. But the thing is when one of them are off, if one is out of alignment, it will be this loop of being stuck and frustrated. Like, I'm doing all the right things, why is nothing showing up? Usually with women that I've worked with in so many years of doing this and having it done it in my own life, when one is off, it will continue perpetuating a loop of stuckness. And so you can do all of the right things and add more things in, like visualization and habits and practices. But if one is off, none of those things make a difference. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with is this, because again, it is something that I had to learn the hard way. It is not that you don't know what to do. It is that you are avoiding the discomfort of actually being somebody else. So many people love the idea of change. They love the idea of being their dream self and having the things they want and the dream life and the dream guy and all of that. But actually going after it, taking it as a practice of, this is who I need to be every single day. I need to be in the discomfort of being somebody new, responding in different ways, showing up in my life, in love, in money, in career, in different ways. Those things take active effort, and a lot of people do not want to get into the discomfort of doing those things. But I can tell you right now from my own experience, you do not get the life that you want by thinking about it. You get it by thinking about it, being it, and actively doing that every single day. Who is blowing up my phone? And it's funny, you might relate, because I am a very, in my head, analytical person. And when I was in this self-aware and stuck loop years ago, I remember being so turned on by the fact that I had something to solve. The gap was something to solve. I was always being an investigator. What more can I do? Researching and doing, and that felt so exhilarating. And I learned, again, very later on when my life actually started clicking into place, I was addicted to healing and addicted to problem solving. Love to know what your thoughts are on all of this. It is a very interesting concept to me. Please leave your thoughts down below. I'm gonna read them all. And as always, if you wanna go deeper than just this video and learn a little bit more about identity and maybe the subconscious mind, check out these 2 videos right here. And I will see you over there, or I'll see you in the next one.